As World Malaria Day approaches on April 25th, MSF highlights the crisis in the DRC where malaria is the leading cause of death. Every year, the disease kills 180,000 children under the age of 5. In response to the increase in the number of cases in 2011, MSF extended its medical activities and treated 129,000 patients during a 12-month period. In this health center, a woman with malaria has just given birth to a premature baby.
All the vitals were fine. The only thing the baby had was hypothermia, so that's why we wanted to bring the baby right away to Mwezo to make sure that she had the best chance to survive.
Since 2009, in certain projects, MSF teams have recorded a threefold increase in the number of malaria patients. Despite treatment, prevention, and awareness raising, the lack of security and limited access to health facilities continue to hinder patient care. Crouched in front of his store, this man is waiting for the next child to pass by. For this is no ordinary store. Here in the Hajar Lamas region of western Chad, Médicos Sem Fronteiras has set up a system to accelerate access to treatment for malnourished children. Community health agents have been trained and prescribe therapeutic foods to children in their villages.
The main advantage is that we start treating malnutrition earlier, right there in villages, and it means people don't have to travel to health centers, which is costly.
The agents are the first in a healthcare chain that ends here in the hospital in Masakori. The majority of admissions here are related to malnutrition, and the tents are already almost full. These children are having fun coloring in a picture of a vinchuca. This insect, or bug, is the vector of Chagas disease, a very common but relatively unknown disease in Latin America. Médicos Sans Fronteiras teams set out to raise awareness of the disease to encourage screening and treatment.
They told me I had Chagas disease, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't understand. I'd never even heard of it. I found out about it in the information sessions. I discovered it was very dangerous, that you can die from it.
The disease is all the more difficult to diagnose given that an infected person will not present symptoms for years. But left untreated, Chagas can lead to heart lesions and gastrointestinal damage. Within a year, MSF screened over 3,500 people and offered treatment to those in need. In Uzbekistan, less than 1 in 10 patients with drug-resistant tuberculosis has access to treatment, a figure all the more alarming as the number of cases is increasing. Drug-resistant tuberculosis is no longer developing only in patients who have failed an earlier treatment. 40% of newly diagnosed patients are infected directly with a drug-resistant strain. Treatment can last up to 2 years, and despite the number of drugs taken daily, treatment fails in approximately 1 in 5 patients.
I've been on treatment for 10 months now. They give me injections too. When I first started taking the drugs, it felt like my insides were burning. I felt terrible. But now I'm used to the drugs and everything's fine. I'm feeling much better.
In the past 10 years, MSF has treated more than 2,000 people with drug-resistant TB in Uzbekistan, many of whom, like this woman, now receive home-based care. Aware of the growing threat, the country is implementing strategies to scale up treatment. When the first cholera cases were declared in Haiti, no one understood how the disease had reached the island. It had not been recorded there for several decades. The bacteria was in fact inadvertently brought to Haiti by a UN battalion from Nepal. As a result, thousands of people have filed for damages from the United Nations. In order to initiate their claims, thousands of former MSF patients have requested medical certificates.
There is little hope they'll receive any individual damages. However, when asked, we are legally obliged as a medical organization to provide any patient treated by MSF with a medical certificate.
In order to meet demand, all medical files have been centralized and computerized in Port-au-Prince. Given that UN forces have diplomatic immunity, the survivors have little chance of winning their cases.